welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading from March 1st to the 7th for the sign of Pisces. Alright guys, we're going to pull out your 3 romance angel messages for the week and see what they have to say about this week for you, what you may be looking at in terms of your deeper relationships with people or your love connections. Then we're going to pull out your animal spirits and your forecast. All right, so Pisces, let's get right into it. We have for you straight out, retreat. Some of you are going to be retreating this week. We have healing family issues and release your ex. So let go of that ex. Time to clear some of that energy, perhaps. It's over, right? It's time to move on and let go of any negativity, clear it out. We have your animal spirits up next. And retreating can just be like wanting to disconnect from the world. You may want to be leaving with a friend or a lover and just taking time off. You may just even be wanting to retreat on your own. It doesn't necessarily have to be with someone else. And of course, healing family issues, it's just generally, working on family issues. You may be seeing relatives, you may be seeing family, you may be working on issues like this, or events may come up this week that are going to be, that are going to be in that area of your life, bringing up issues in that area, perhaps possibility for reconciliation or communication. Let's just see what your animal spirits are for the week, Pisces. And we're going to see what kind of extra energy you have going on with you this week. Now, this isn't going to resonate for all of you, of course, so just take it as it comes. The Deer, earth energy associated with the Mother. We have the Fish, wow, water energy. And we have the Tiger, really nice. The Tiger is all about overcoming fear, listening to your intuition. Well, this is a nice set of cards with those romance angel messages. So let's get right into it. The Deer is the animal spirit for the Mother in the deck. And so this can indicate you becoming a new mother, or just really tapping into your maternal instincts, right? This could be having maternal instincts for a new child or for someone that you take under your wing, right? Someone that you're kind of looking out for to a certain degree. You may be acting as a mentor to them, or just a maternal figure, right? The Deer is all about nurturing and protection, and also being really aware, right? Watching out for danger, protecting, this newborn life. And a lot of times this can even indicate a new project that you've started, right? So if you have like the inklings of a new project, you have this new idea and it's just, taking seed, then you want to have the same sort of maternal instincts towards that as well, in terms of protecting it, nurturing it, working on it, and all of that. But this can certainly indicate a child, even if it's a newborn, or it can be adoption. It can also be foster care, or any kind of new life coming into your life that you're really taking a sort of maternal interest in. Now, the Fish is associated, of course, with water energy, and the Fish is one of these animal spirits. When the spirit of the Fish is at play, it's this feeling of just letting life pull you anywhere it wants to pull you, and not really taking very much responsibility, right? The Fish is very slippery and can just easily get caught up in the current of life and just get caught up, and not really be sort of anchoring itself or taking any intentional step to sort of make its own decisions, right? And not just get swept up. If for this reason, when you're dealing with somebody who's resonating with the Fish, they can be quite slippery when it comes to a relationship. One minute they're there, the next minute they're kind of off again. So just take care if you're emotionally involved with somebody like this. If you're resonating with this energy and you just find yourself really getting caught up a lot with everything going on around you, and not really being able to stand still and, you know, make the effort where you want to, then it may be time to just pull away from all the activity, right? And just take a really good look at where it is you truly want to be. Sometimes this feeling of letting life take you where it wants to can be very exciting. But the problem with that, of course, is that you then don't develop any longer term relationships. You don't develop the ability to maintain a commitment or develop a commitment, you know. And oftentimes people who resonate with this energy too long can be quite lonely later on in life. Now, the tiger is fire energy and associated with overcoming fear. The tiger is an animal spirit that worldwide is associated with fear, because the tiger is just fearless, right? And also can cause fear in others as an animal in and of itself. But the tiger hunts at night, it hunts by the moon, right? So the tiger really has to trust its intuition, and it has to trust its instincts, and it has to have a full sort of connect with that in order to survive in the wild. And so in a lot of ways, this is what we mean by overcoming fear, you know, trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition to steer you in the right direction, especially if you're going through periods that are quite dark or where you really don't have all the information there available to you. Very moon energy. The tiger, you know, it's definitely a lunar energy animal spirit, and it's a strong feminine animal spirit, right? Feminine energy, certainly, with the tiger. So that's why we talk about it in terms of, you know, the tiger's very elusive and lives in an environment that's very elusive and dark, and, you know, you just can't see with your normal senses. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your higher senses. And so this is a lot to, you know, it gives you a lot of indication on how to handle fear. You know, when you're feeling anxious or you're having trepidation about something, just trust your instincts, trust the wisdom that you have, trust the intuition that you have, and that will steer you in the right direction. All right, my lovely Pisces, let's go ahead and get right into your reading. And please don't confuse the fish animal spirit with the fish of the Pisces. They are two very different energies, okay? So here we're just talking about the spirit of the animal of the fish, right? All right. Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and we have this Strength card. Well, Strength is there. All right, so for some of you, you're coming into this week and you really have this great new opportunity in business or in your career that you're able to take advantage of, right? Ace of Pentacles indicates an opportunity coming in that, if you put your best foot forward, can really be a source of great abundance, right? And wealth and rewards coming in. Certainly a profitable sort of opportunity or path that you can go down. And so you're coming into this week very excited with this. You're met with the Three of Cups energies, which means that you will probably be out celebrating with a lot of friends, maybe even celebrating this new opportunity. Three of Cups is all about bonding. You know, three is a number for bonding and loyalty, and solidarity. And so Three of Cups, it's like you're going to be out and about, you know, hanging out with your friends, hanging out with people that are close to you, that you trust. You may be, like I said, celebrating this new opportunity, or it could just be that this is your general sort of lifestyle right now, and this week is a very up week. However, you round off the week with Strength energy, and it's interesting because I think that because this Ace of Pentacles is coming in, which is a really great opportunity, you are going to be out with your social group this week. Certain events are going to happen this week that are going to make you want to enforce your boundaries, or certainly set boundaries with certain people. It could be that some of your friends or some of the people you know in your social group are going to be maybe overstepping their bounds with you now that you're having this new opportunity. They may be a little bit too newsy about it. They may be sort of, you know, they may be someone that, yeah, you trust them and they're your friend, but, you know, it's suddenly the way they're talking, you feel like, hang on a second, you know, this is not your business, or this is not something I want to include you in, or what have you. Eight, the major arcana 8 is the number for strength, in the sense that, of course, it's the card for strength. It is the card for Leo, but it's also the number for borders, is what I meant to say, right? Enforcing borders and boundaries, because a lot of times, Having to sort of stay in control of your emotions. That's what strength is all about. Not letting your sort of basic instincts, not instincts, but emotions, your basic sort of passionate animalistic emotions like anger, jealousy, you know what I mean? Snapping and reacting and things like that. You don't want them to be in charge of the decisions you make or the actions that you take. Regardless of how you feel, you want to still be in control. And that's what we mean by maintaining your strength. But a lot of times, those emotions erupt because we allow people to overstep bounds with us, or to overstep their boundaries with us, right? And so in order to maintain that inner calm and to maintain some of these emotions, instead of always having to battle against them, one of the biggest things that we can do is just keep certain people at a distance. People who trigger us, or people who, cause these emotions to rise up within us, right? We don't want them always around us, or always sort of, poking the bear, as it were. And so that is where we understand that boundaries go hand in hand with maintaining your strength. And so this is what you're going to be finding out that you need to do with some people this week. 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. Very nice. Some of you entered the week with a feeling of worry, right, about your finances. You may be feeling like really wanting to hold on to what you have, not wanting to spend any money. You're not sure if you're going to have the stability later on. But this week you come into a great prosperity. You come into 10 of Pentacles energy that meets you. So everything that you worried about in the beginning of the week totally works itself out. You begin to see money coming in. You begin to see like completion in certain areas. It could be that you've just been feeling a little anxious while a certain project is finishing, or while you're dealing with a certain leg of your business right now. It may be a little bit tight. But this week, everything works out for you. Everything begins to come in. And by the end of the week, you're rounding off with the 6 of Swords, which is a real feeling of calm and harmony. I think finally the money is coming in to such a degree that you're able to make the moves that you want to move. Because 6 of Swords can sometimes indicate wanting to physically move. Like you might want to be moving house, or moving apartments, moving to a different city, just moving to a different environment. And of course, that takes a certain level of financial abundance, right? And so, yeah, in the beginning of the week, you may have been very apprehensive and worried about it. But as the events carry on this week, you are absolutely on track with what you desire. You want to do, which is definitely moving forward in harmony, moving forward to an environment and people who have the same mentality, so that you are beginning to feel comfortable. It feels very much like a leveling up for some of you. Perhaps even now that you have the funds, you're able to move out of a certain neighborhood that really isn't like, your mentality. You may have had to deal with living in a certain environment that you're not happy with because you didn't have the financial means. But now that they're coming in, you feel so good about it. You're absolutely able to move forward. It's very nice indeed. The Chariot, 7 of Cups, and the Death card. Well, this is your last spread, Pisces. The Chariot, of course, is the card for Cancer, your sister sign, and Death is the card for Scorpio, your sister sign, right? But the Chariot talks about, really preparing the way for this path that you're about to embark on, this destined kind of path, or moving towards a particular destination, right? And so, our goals are the destination, but the path we take, a lot of that depends on how we, prepare for it. How do we prepare the path? Are we ready to embark? Have we thought about all of the obstacles? Have we done everything that we need to do? The Chariot very much talks about laying the groundwork, because once the Chariot is engaged and starts moving, it will stick to the path that you set for it. It will stick to the course that you laid out for it. And so it's very important a lot of times for us to think about that path and to make sure that the path is something, the path that we're actually walking towards our goals is a path that is in line with us spiritually and morally, is something that we thought about, so any physical obstacles can be handled, right? And so you're thinking about that this week, and you come into a Seven of Cups. And this is quite interesting because Seven of Cups generally is a very unrealistic sort of way of looking at things. And I think that this is something that happens this week. You realize that perhaps a particular goal, or this particular goal that you've been planning for, maybe there's sides to it that you've been looking at that were unrealistic, or you've had a really sort of over-idealized concept of how it's going to be, right? You may have thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was, or you may have thought that you were going to have a certain outcome or a certain way of moving forward, and it's not like that at all. Because Seven of Cups is usually a very daydreamy idea of life. You know, it's being very in your head and fantasizing a lot, but on the ground, a lot of times it's not connected, right? And so it's not, sometimes it can be as extreme as being delusional, but sometimes it's just having unrealistic expectations because you haven't actually begun to work on the goal. And so you haven't really even figured out what some of your obstacles are going to be, right? Because it's been so much up in your head. In any case, this week, this is a real issue that comes up because by the end of the week, you experience death. And this is a full transformation from where you were at the beginning. And I think in a lot of ways, there's certain things. This could even be like, for instance, if you plan to move in with someone or to start start this new venture, maybe in business or career or company or something, or a travel adventure with someone, right? And you're like, oh, this is going to be really awesome. And then this week events start to happen and you realize that it's probably not even going to happen. You know what I mean? Like everything you thought was going to happen, you know, say for instance, like I say, if you were going to go someplace with a friend or travel or what have you, all of a sudden you realize that that friend hasn't done anything at all towards their part of, you know, the trip, or you find out that everything you thought was going to be really sort of magical is actually going to be a real pain in the ass. It's going to be a lot harder. It's going to cost a lot more money. And it's just not going to be what you thought it was, right? That's an example of Seven of Cups, right? When we imagine something to be really great and then it just turns out to be full of a lot of obstacles and just be very different than we expected. Now, with this death coming in by the end of the week, Pisces, it's like that goes hand in hand because I think, yes, you resonate with a little bit of this energy, or you're met with this energy to a degree. Like I say, you could be dealing with somebody who's trying to sort of sell you this really picture perfect idea about something, but then everything changes by the end of the week and you absolutely realize that, you know, this is not going to go the way you thought it was. And it'll be a good thing because a lot of times it's better to find that out before you embark on a journey than once you're traveling with somebody, you realize you guys hate traveling together, or you just don't get along, or this just doesn't work out. I've always said a lot of times if you want to find out if you're really good friends with somebody, or if you can really relate, you know, stand each other, travel with them. Try traveling with a friend to see if you know what I mean? Just take a few days traveling somewhere. You're going to find out very quickly who you're really sort of, simpatical with and who you have a really good connection with. Because a lot of times the stress of traveling and people wanting to do their own thing can really bring out the true character. But in any case, yeah, this is a case of you really changing up a particular path that you were all dead set ready to go on. Could be a little bit of the fish at hand here. You may have been dealing with somebody who was quite slippery, and you were going to take them on this adventure with you, and you find out that they don't even have the staying power. You know, like one of these, have you ever met one of these friends that, you know, every time you want to talk about like doing something cool together with them, some great idea, they're all about it, but at the end of the day, they never get their shit together to do it. And it just becomes talk. You know, it just becomes all the talk of how great it would be, but they never actually get anything done. They never actually go on this adventure with you. And it feels a little bit like that. That's a bit of the spirit of the fish, you know, somebody who just gets caught up in life but doesn't actually make any of their own moves, you know, towards their agenda. But it'll be good. And death is always comes in and brings growth. So in any case, this will be better that you figure this out now, like I said, than before you engage this chariot on your adventure. All right, guys. This is your reading, Pisces, for March 1st to the 7th. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Go ahead and check out the other readings that are all linked in your description, your March Love Outlook and your 2020 Outlook. I think I'm going to bring back the weekly love reading, so I might try that for this week. But in any case, Pisces, for right now, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for your weekly. Bye-bye now.